I'm Matt Peterson.
And I am Daniel Warner.
We're juniors at DY, and we're going to help you get through Mcas.
Here are a list of tips that we compiled that we think are what you need to know.
Because we've been there, we've been through it.
To do well on your Mcas. Tip number 1, get a good night's sleep and eat well the night before and the morning of. Those two things give you plenty of energy to do your tests with the focus that you need to do well on it.
Also, don't be too stressed about it. You know, people going to tests being really stressed. You just want to relax. And when you're doing the test, don't second guess your answers. Go with your gut, because most likely it's a lot of common sense stuff, and you'll probably know it. And then you second guess yourself. So just go with your true first feeling. On open responses, use all the information in quotes directly from the text as you can. Load it up with information. And make sure you turn your phone off, because phones are a big no-no in the MCAS testing room.
Stay hydrated. Bring a bottle of water. Gonna get thirsty. And don't cheat. It's just never worth it. You probably won't get away with it. Very high risk. Just highly advise against it. Don't cheat on the MCAS.
So now that we've told you what to do during the MCAS, we're going to give you a few examples of what not to do.
What's up, dude?
Oh, what's up, dude?
Did you do the hockey game yesterday?
Yeah, I did. Yo, you want to check out the pictures?
Yeah, let's see. It was good.
I got to be quick, though. I mean, I'm taking the MCAS.
Nah, it's straight, dude.
Yeah,
Who cares about the MCAS?
Check out these pictures.
Yo, oh my god, that kid got checked.
I know, right?
That was crazy.
I think Alright, I'm going to get back to my test, though.
Alright, yeah.
Yo, you know the answer to A?
A?
No, never mind. That's not Alright, so I'd just like to remind you that we are giving you 85 minutes for this test. Anytime you need it will be added to you. You get any additional time you need.
Okay,
Take your
absolutely.
time, do your best.
I'll definitely do that.
Sure you're done.
Absolutely.
That was fast. That was about 2 minutes.
I guess I'm just a fast test taker. Absolutely
Okay.
alright.
It's your test. Alright, now we're going to move on to the multiple choice portion. So I hope you gentlemen got a good night's sleep, and we will begin testing now. Daniel, Spencer, alright, do your best. Good luck. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring turns brass, Papa's gonna buy you a looking glass. And if that glass gets broke, Papa's gonna buy you a billy goat. And if that billy goat won't pull, Papa's gonna buy you a cart and a bull.
Absolutely don't do that.
Yeah, don't. That's probably not a good idea.
Probably the worst thing you could do during the MCAS.
Yeah, Dan distracted me. I probably would have gotten kicked out of the room. Just
Absolutely
don't. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
ignorant.
Alright. Unbelievable. You think you know a guy?
Hi, I'm Miss McCauley, and the boys here have asked me to answer some questions, which I'm more than willing to do for these kind gentlemen. How can I help you?
Good morning, Miss McCauley. Can you tell us what is the MCAS?
Well, the MCAS is an assessment, and it's basically a test that everyone in Massachusetts, or every student, I should say, in Massachusetts, needs to pass in order to officially graduate from high school. There's 3 different MCAS. There's English, or I guess it would be language arts, mathematics, and biology. There used to be a history one, but due to funding, the history one was eliminated, which is very sad for everyone.
Very well.
The MCAS is very important. It takes up, a chunk of time, so you have to take it seriously. The morning before the MCAS, you should always make sure that you eat a very hearty breakfast, whether it be cereal or lots of protein, or, this is not the day to skip. Sometimes the school provides you with water and Nutri-Grain bars, which are a delicious treat. The night before, you should get plenty of rest. You should remember that your teachers have prepared you very well to take any of these exams, so you shouldn't stress out. You should take your time, double check your answers, and again, keep in mind that while this is important, you do know all of the information. You already have it, and you are good to go. So good luck on the MCAS, all y'all.
Today we are with Ms. Fornoff to talk about the MCAS.
Do colleges look at your MCAS scores?
Private colleges do not look at your MCAS scores. The state colleges in Massachusetts require that you have a high school diploma. In order to have a high school diploma, you have to have passed MCAS. So if you did not pass MCAS, then the state schools in Massachusetts will not accept you into their program. But when it comes to admissions, it does not play a role in being admitted to a college.
Okay.
Okay, so other than for college purposes, like you said, why is it important to do well on the MCAS?
The MCAS are testing your skills, and they're a state test to see that you meet minimum standards for graduation. So why it's important to do well is to show that you've met the standards and also at times to exceed them. There are some incentives that the state has. There's the Abigail Adams Scholarship, that if you rank in the top 25% of the district with your MCAS scores, that you can receive free in-state tuition at state schools or universities. But the catch with that is that tuition for a year at a state school or a university is only about $2,000. The fees is where they really are getting you in the cost. There's also what's called the Stanley Koplik Certificate of Mastery, which has a little bit more to do with AP scores or SAT 2 subject scores, so that that can also provide free tuition as well if you are in the advanced or proficient area in MCAS.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning. We are here with Mr. Jenks today to talk about the MCAS.
Alright, Mr. Jenks, we just have a few questions for you. We'll start off with the basics. What is the MCAS?
MCAS is the Massachusetts Comprehensive Assessment System. Fundamentally, it's a series of tests to be sure that students have a basic level of English. Can they read and write well? Can they do reading with discretion? Can they write well to make a point? Mathematics. Can they perform mathematical operations? Can they think mathematically? And science, again, can they think with science concepts, apply those concepts? I'm a believer in the MCAS. I think the system improved education. It was stressful for people at first. It was scary at first. But we're in about year 10 of the MCAS now, and it's really raised the standards.
So what was the initial issue that caused the state to begin issuing the MCAS 10 years ago?
By the early 1990s, Massachusetts was one of many states that realized, especially in urban areas, large numbers of students were graduating from high school. And realistically, they had minimal reading and writing skills. They weren't prepared for the world. It was a real disservice for those students. And so the state stepped in and said, we need some tests that are baseline tests to make sure our students read and write well, can understand mathematics and function in the world. Science was added later because, we're in the 21st century. You better know something about science as well.
Definitely. How do MCAS scores affect our school?
They affect individual students, of course, and most of our students take the test very seriously. They work through it. Top 25% of the students can get college tuition at a state college taken care of. In general, the scores allow us to look at our school, our program, our curriculum, and say, are we giving the students they need to be successful in those subjects? That's how we use it as a school. If we're above the state average in advanced and proficient in many categories, we look at that and say, okay, we have a strong curriculum. What are the things we need to do to tighten it up? Believe it or not, teachers sit down with the test scores at the end, for instance, when we get the English scores back, and the English department will go, oh, one of the areas we were really strong in is reading with discretion. So we're good at that, let's keep doing that. But an area we need to work on might be open response questions, so let's practice that more.
Okay, what are your personal expectations for MCAS this year coming out of DY?
I'm hopeful that our scores are continuing to rise. We're in a challenging situation. Last year, 99% of the sophomores passed English the first time through. And yet, that makes it harder and harder. Trying to get to 100%, you think about it, there's always going to be 3 or 4 students whose circumstances are such that maybe they're not prepared for MCAS. Do they miss a lot of school before 10th grade? Were there other issues at play, perhaps some learning challenges? And so it's just so hard to move when you get in that last couple percent. The students here have been phenomenal. We have great students, great teachers. Science, we're about 20 points, it feels like, above the state average. About 67, 68% of the state was advanced and proficient in science. We're about 80, high 80 percentage rate. So it's very exciting.
That's very good. Finally, what does administration have to do to prepare for the MCAS every year?
Administratively, it's a lot of resources, and fundamentally, it's great office staff. If we have 10 rooms, you want to make sure that all the test booklets are there. Each student has a sticker label from the state. I think you guys have gone through the MCAS, you know about that. It's just getting the testing environment there. The biggest piece really is all year long, teachers having a solid curriculum. I'll use that English example again. Preparing students all year long. It's not about the 2 weeks before MCAS going, oh my gosh, MCAS is coming, let's cram for the MCAS. It's all about calm preparation all year long. I think with students, it's like an athletic team. If you practice, 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 when the big game comes, there's some anticipation.
Oh, definitely.
But you're ready because hey, we've done it all year long. It wasn't like we crammed all the practice in 2 days before the game. Same in academics. So it's really about that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, gentlemen.